7 games, that's why they bought him. Commentators today, Dennis Law and Alan Parry.
And let's begin with today's teams. First, Chelsea. Kevin Hitchcock in goal. Steve Clarke at 2. Tom Boyd is 3. Number 4, Vinnie Jones. At 5, Paul Elliott. Ken Moncow is 6. Number 7, Graham Lasseau. The captain, Andy Townsend, is 8. At 9, Kerry Dixon. Number 10, Clive Allen. And 11, Dennis Wise. As Elton has mentioned, scoring goals has been Chelsea's biggest problem this season. Just 31 in 24 games. That's why they bought Clive Allen from Manchester City to partner Kerry Dixon in attack. Well, now Manchester United, Peter Schmeichel in goal. Paul Parker, number 2. At 3, Dennis Irwin. 4 is Steve Bruce. 5, Neil Webb. Gary Pallister is 6. 7, Andrei Kanchelskis. 8, Paul Ince continues for the injured Brian Robson. At 9, leading scorer Brian McClare. 10 is Mark Hughes. And 11, Ryan Giggs. Well, the emergence this season of Kanchelskis and Giggs has given United an exciting look down the flanks in front of that very solid defence. The substitutes are Craig Burley and Graham Stewart, 2 young men on the Chelsea bench. Mike Phelan and Clayton Blackmore for Manchester United. The referee is one of Europe's most respected officials, George Courtney from Spennymoor. Very happy with the state of the pitch and very complimentary, as everyone has been, to the Chelsea ground staff for making this match playable. One of his first duties will be to call everyone to observe, including the Prime Minister, a few moments' silence to mark the death of the Football League president, Mr. Bill Fox. Gesture by the crowd as well as the 22 players. So United bidding to return to the top of the First Division by winning here today. Chelsea may only be halfway down the table, but they're a big occasion team, and last season they were the only side to beat the champions Arsenal home or away in the league. Chelsea, who've got a very good record as well against Manchester United, they beat them 3-2 home and away last season. Get the game underway. Terrific atmosphere here at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea all in blue, attacking from right to left. Manchester United in the red shirts and white shorts. Kevin Hitchcock, the Chelsea goalkeeper, launches the first long ball towards Dixon. Well met by Bruce, the United captain, of course, in the absence of Brian Robson. Pitch is going to be hard, obviously. It's soft in some parts and very firm on this near touchline. That's the opposite one to where Chelsea have just gained that throw, which could be Vinnie Jones' first opportunity to hurl the ball into the United box. Bit of a cult hero at the bridge now. And then it goes towards Dixon, well met by him. It almost reached Clive Allen. Schmeichel came out to help out Gary Pallister. And a very good throw by the United goalkeeper. It's one of the great strengths of his game. Found Hughes, now Ince. Given away to Lasseau, but then he wins it back. McClare turns it back to Ince, who's got Hughes in the centre-forward position. And a good sliding challenge by Tommy Boyd. The Scottish international fullback wins United their first throw. A very strange one indeed. But alongside me today, former Manchester United star, Dennis Law.
How are you, Mr. Parry? Are you warm enough here? It's absolutely freezing. We're high at the stand. My nose is white red like United shirts. It's going to be a difficult game today for United. As we said earlier on, we went onto the pitch, it looks lovely, and the ground staff have done a magnificent job. It is hard in certain places, and you wonder, as the day goes on, you know, when it gets a bit, the sun goes down, how difficult it could become. Difficult game for United, of course. If they win today, they go top the league. It was a good result yesterday, unfortunately, for Lee Chapman. The Spurs taking a point off lead, so it is an opportunity for United to do well.
Foul then by Parker has given Chelsea a free kick. Dennis Wise, who takes most of them, takes it short this time to Townsend, curled in wickedly. good clearance sets Giggs free on the left. And immediately we see why he's so highly rated. He's got two players, Kanchelskis and Hughes, in the middle. It was good work by Wise, of all people, to get back and cut out the cross. But United keep possession, and it's that man Giggs again. Clark across to cover. A good-looking cross, and Lasseau quite happy to lob it behind for the first corner of the game to Manchester United. But instantly then we saw why Ryan Giggs has become one of the most exciting players in the game in his first really full season in the First Division, just 18. Strange corner kick by Kanchelskis. He's given it away to Lasseau. Pallister having to sprint to win the ball back for United, and did well. Michael, who's conceded only 3 goals in his last 8 games in the Manchester United goal. One of the big reasons why they are right there in contention for their first championship for almost a quarter of a century. That wasn't one of his better kicks, but Kanchelskis was underneath it. Boyd's clearance. Jones for Chelsea. And now United have it back with Giggs having switched instantly from left to right. Webb. Good-looking cross into Hughes on the near post. And set up for Ince. It was a good block tackle by Elliott and Jones on Paul Ince, and it was enough to force the ball behind for the corner. Only scored 1 goal this season, Paul Ince, and goal scoring is not one of his better points. But that shot has earned United a corner. Bruce forward as usual. Ooh, it almost reached Bruce as well. Chelsea didn't quite know too much about that one, and fortunately for them, no United player was able to make contact.
It's been a good start from United. They've taken the game to Chelsea. That's a couple of attacks they've had, particularly Giggs, as you mentioned, Al. He's certainly a very talented boy. His first season in the First Division, showing maturity beyond his years, really. And of course, a lot of people have said he's another George Best. Well, George himself said, well, of course, he's not. He's another Ryan Giggs, and we just wonder how good this boy could become. But United have got off to a very nice start.
Lasseau for Chelsea. Clive Allen dealt with a difficult ball well. Wise. Moncao. Webb sliced his attempted clearance, but was fortunate to get it back. Irwin helping it out to Giggs again on the left. Now to McClare, who tried to return the ball. Clark's interception. Manchester United's throw. Irwin, the Republic of Ireland international, who switched from right to left back this season to accommodate Paul Parker's arrival. And here is Parker, the England man. Kanchelskis, the Soviet international. And Pallister. Leclerc let that run on cleverly and got it back well from Ince. It was a good tackle though by Wise. And now Townsend breaks for Chelsea. Allen gives it back to Lasseau. And a poor ball by young Graham Lasseau, the 23-year-old Channel Islander. In fact, it looks from the referee's signal as though he's given a free kick. Pallister. Bruce. On to Hughes. Now McClare. Giggs is out there on the left. Irwin. Well cut out by Clark, and he read the danger. Jones. On to Lasseau. Townsend. And now Boyd for Chelsea. This is Dixon. Boyd getting it all wrong, really, because Dixon never had much hope of reaching that. Parker. Good football by Manchester United. They tried to play their way out of danger, but in the end, perhaps, the boot up the line from Parker might have been more advisable. Particularly on this near side of the pitch, which, as I was saying earlier, is much harder than the other side, which has had more of the sunlight. Ken Monk Moncao has gone forward for another one of Vinnie Jones' long throws, and so too has Elliott, the other centre-back. Bruce got there ahead of both of them. But Vinnie has gained a few yards and can try again. And the referee saw an infringement by Moncao as he climbed with Neil Webb. Free kick to Manchester United, who've lost only twice in 27 matches this season in all competitions. In fact, 2 defeats in the space of 4 days. At Atletico Madrid in the European Cup Winners' Cup, and then at Sheffield Wednesday in the First Division. Since those 2 defeats, they've gone 9 matches unbeaten. Moncao's header clear. Wise takes it up for Chelsea. A long ball for Dixon to chase. He's prepared to chase it as well. But United get the throw. They've won their last 5 games, incidentally, Manchester United, including cup ties, and 7 victories in their last 9. Really the side in form. Clark wins the header for Chelsea, though. Webb's clearance. Hughes takes it down. Ince. Parker has a lot of room to attack down this right flank. Looked for Hughes. It was a difficult ball for Moncao as it bounced in front of him. Hitchcock got him out of a problem. And Clive Allen is offside.
As you said, Alan, of course, United playing with extreme confidence. You say they've lost a couple of games, but so that is a sign they've become more competitive. It's going to be tough in midfield today. Of course, Jones and Townsend, particularly Townsend for Chelsea, is a superb player. But Webb has had a marvellous couple of months. The way the United playing, plenty of confidence, scoring goals, not conceding goals, which is, of course, a sign again of a team that's got to win the championship.
And they've just gained a free kick for a foul on Hughes. Gary Pallister has come forward, just out of the picture at the moment, right edge of the Chelsea box, and Bruce is joining in. There's Pallister. And it goes towards Bruce, far edge, and Elliott just got the touch ahead of him for another United corner. The same danger applies again here to Chelsea. They'll know where it's coming from. They need a better delivery from the corner this time. It's those 2 tall centre-backs who provide the threat. It is a better corner as well. A bit too deep perhaps, but Elliott couldn't take any risks. Hasn't missed a game since joining Chelsea from Celtic in the summer. I'm quite happy to knock that one behind for another United corner. Irwin will take this one. Bruce getting up with Elliott again, and Elliott gets it clear. Lasso completes the clearance for Chelsea, but they're still hemmed in here. Intelligent ball by Parker. Bruce sidestepped Lasso. Now Webb. He made room nicely then and cuttled it in dangerously. Hitchcock quick to react. Begins a 3-match suspension next Saturday after being sent off in the 3-0 defeat at Sheffield Wednesday. So very keen to do well today, Kevin Hitchcock. Here's Lasso. Boyd. Townsend had nowhere to go, really. 11 minutes gone, still 0-0. Bruce gets it clear. Clark for Chelsea. On to little Wise on the right, and he looked as though he was being held then by Irwin, who said, well, look, he was pulling my jersey first, and then it is out of his shorts to prove the point, perhaps. The referee didn't see it that way, and the free kick in quickly towards Dixon. Allen, Lasso, and that was an opening, certainly. Lasso slipped at the vital moment, and United break clear with the flying winger Kunchelskis. Look for McClare, and Vinnie Jones just swung the boot at it. And another corner for Manchester United.
Was a bit of a let-off for United there. Lasso should have been a little bit quicker, could have scored for Chelsea. But again, United come straight back down.
Giggs will take this corner. Moncao's Bale's clearance. Irving with the shot through a crowd of players, and it was Dixon, the last man for Chelsea. Well, it's ironic that Manchester United in the first 10 minutes or so seemed to have been camped in Chelsea's half, and yet it was Chelsea who could, maybe should, have taken the lead. Chelsea have failed to score in 4 of their last 8 matches, and Graham Lasseau himself has only got 3 goals this season. The goals have been very thinly distributed amongst the Chelsea players. I wonder if it was really the ground that played a part in Lasseau's miss. Then he did seem to slip at the vital moment, Dennis.
He certainly did, yes. I didn't think he expected the ball to come from Allen. It was one of those, it was like a half-come, cross-come shot. Saw it a bit late, and then it did. Certainly looked as though he slipped there, but it was an excellent opportunity.
Jones wins it for Chelsea and gives it away to Pallister, who does the same thing. Lasseau. Vinnie Jones was getting a great roar from the crowd. The Giggs was right behind him. Clark turning it on, straight to Pallister, and Ince with a sensible ball, really. Cow met that long kick from Schmeichel well. Alec Ferguson, who replaced Sean Atkinson 5 years ago at Old Trafford, and who dreams, as everyone else does, in that particular half of Manchester, of bringing United that long-awaited championship this season. They've probably never been in a better position to try and do that. It's the strongest squad that Ferguson himself has had, and one of the strongest squads certainly for many, many years at Old Trafford.
Rightly so, and when you think of Sharp, who hasn't played this season, who had a marvellous season last season, you know, for him to come back in, it really is an exciting time for Manchester United. And you rightly said, this is probably the best opportunity they've ever had of winning the title.
But they've conceded a free kick here, a little nudge in the back by Bruce on Clive Allen. And Bruce will have to be on his toes now, with both Elliott and Moncau forward for the kick. As Chelsea opt for the shot on target. Vinnie Jones suggesting he might have a whack at this. No, it's Wise who kills it in to Clark, far side, and it almost sneaked through to Elliott on the near post. Unlucky, really. Well-worked free kick by Chelsea, who've had an inconsistent sort of season. Talking to Ian Porterfield, their manager, he said that what they really lack is a string of good results. They've had their moments, certainly. They've lost games they ought not to have lost, though, and he says, accordingly, they've lost confidence. Wise. Bruce gets it clear. Chelsea get the throw. Centre stage again. Vincent Jones. Well met by Bruce. Townsend plays it back in, and then it was Ince who got it clear, and a quick counter-attack perhaps for United. Hughes had to play it back though. Parker. Clumsy ball. Lasseau finds Dixon. Townsend making one of those characteristic breaks from midfield and played it just too far ahead of Clive Allen. He had that hernia operation last month, Andy Townsend, was expected to be out till the new year, but in fact in the end he only missed 4 games. That's how important he is to Chelsea. They wanted him back as soon as possible.
Good player, and also good. He gets goals as well, which is important. And United will have to be very careful for him when he makes those type of breaks from midfield.
Boyd finding Lasseau. Lasseau stood and looked at that one and was as disgusted with himself as his teammates were with him.
And that's a sign of, you know, lack of confidence in the side. You know, the nice little spell they had there. It's been the final ball, isn't it? I mean, that ball was into nowhere at all. Players not reading each other.
It's a good kick again by Schmeichel. It was difficult then for Elliott, and he really coped with it well, Paul Elliott. A deft back header to his goalkeeper. So missed his header. Targeted. And Moncau. On again by Vassaux. Pallister right underneath it and finds Kanchelskis. Good little ball. Moncau was in quickly again though. Townsend leading Wise. On it goes to Dixon. Good spell this by the home side. Wise takes over again. Needs some support now though. And the cross straight at Webb. For Manchester United. Forward for Hughes, and that was a shove certainly by Paul Elliott, spotted by Mr. Courtney. Paul Elliott plays the innocent victim, but I don't think he had much of a case then. Certainly a dangerous place to concede the free kick as well. Very central. Although a good 25 to 30 yards out. Hitchcock organising the wall. Erwin, who takes it right-footed. Oh, what a magnificent goal! Dennis Irwin with a classic free kick. And with 19 minutes gone, the travelling faithful from Old Trafford celebrate a superb strike.
Well, it's incredible, really. So far out and didn't take a deflection at all. I don't know what the goalkeeper was doing. I mean, from a situation like that, it didn't come through a wall or anything. I mean, it went round the wall. Oh, there it is there. And really, you know, the goalkeeper was so badly placed. I mean, it didn't sneak in the post, did it? I mean, it was well, something like 2 yards inside the post. Really, a terrific goal for Manchester United, but really, you would say a bad mistake from the keeper.
And it was ironic that we'd seen Hitchcock lining up his defence, and ultimately I think the goalkeeper has to take responsibility in those situations. He decides where he wants the defenders, and he is obviously the man who has to patrol what remains of the line. And I think Kevin Hitchcock himself will admit, really, that he got his angles a bit wrong then. But let's take nothing away from the accuracy of Irwin's free kick. Only his second goal of the season. And Chelsea backs to the wall again now. Strange that since they came back into the first division, they've met Manchester United 4 times. Chelsea, they've won 3 of them and drawn the other 1. Been a bit of a bogey team. They're going to have to work hard now to get back into this game, and especially as they have conceded another free kick. Giggs is number 11, Webb number 5. Hughes getting up well, but in doing so, he was pushing the defender. Free kick. And here's the behind-the-goal view of Irwin's free kick.
It really was well inside, wasn't it? I mean, it wasn't near the post at all. I'm not a great judge of goalkeepers, Mr. Parry, you know, but really, it was a situation so far out that he would be very disappointed with himself letting the goal at that. It's going to be very difficult now for Chelsea. United 1 up. The confidence has been flowing for most of the season. And what they've done this season more than any, like when they've got up there, they've really gone out to kill the opposition. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's a second goal in this festival.
But Chelsea have proved themselves capable of beating the best teams when they're on song, when they have one of those days. Despite that dent to their confidence, they'll think they can get back into this, I'm sure. Vassaux looking for Townsend. Ince was a bit too quick. So couldn't really go anywhere. And had to concede the throw. And we all know that that is the cue for Vinnie Jones. He's taken it short this time. Lasso did well to make the cross, and a difficult one it was too. Brian McClare, surprisingly, was the player back to clear for a corner. Well, corners, free kicks and throw-ins are perhaps the best route for Chelsea here, so they want to make the most of this. Flicked on by Moncao, dangerously. Schmeichel got there and was fouled by Elliott, says the referee. And I must say, sometimes I think referees automatically, when a goalkeeper goes down in a situation like that, whistle for a free kick. There was an incident in the Forest-Arsenal game last week when I thought David Seaman was fortunate to gain the free kick. Schmeichel went up for that, so did the defender. I could see nothing wrong.
No, exactly, no, you're right. Referees do protect the goalkeeper, and I suppose maybe rightly so at times, but that's a situation there that really Schmeichel got the free kick, and it didn't look a foul whatsoever.
That did. Brian McClare backing into Moncao. And Moncao in his 4th season from Feyenoord, born in Suriname and a Dutch under-21 international. Big favourite here at the Bridge. The crowd really like him. He started a great partnership off this season with Paul Elliott. It's a good free kick though. That gets it clear. Townsend back onto it. Townsend in there again, and United wobbling a bit at the back. Lasso with the shot. Could have gone anywhere, that one. And Giggs did so well then to beat Clark, and look at the man's pace. Overplayed that one though. Hughes never really had much chance of reaching it.
No chance at all, but did you see how quick he is? A marvellous player. He broke so quick. It really was, again, it was inexperience there of passing the ball. He could have held it for a few more seconds and picked out a United player.
Clark winning it back there for Chelsea. Play on, says the referee. Webb for Manchester United tries to utilise Giggs' pace again down the left. He's beaten Clark. McClare. Hughes takes it off his toe. Ince. It hit Brian McClare. Boyd gets it clear. Wise. That's a good ball. Dixon chasing. And Clive Allen in the middle. Terry Dixon will not need me or anyone else to tell him he made an absolute porridge of that.
I think there's a fair chance that that might have just bobbled up just before he crossed it. It was a good break by Chelsea. It was an opportunity to get the ball in there. To be fair, I think it bobbled.
What a kind and sympathetic man you are, Vince.
Thank you. It did.
Moncao. Lasso for Chelsea. Townsend. Sorry, it's Clive Allen. Townsend was just ahead of him. Dixon again. Irwin blocking the route and doing so illegally. Free kick against the United man.
I don't think he's too happy with that.
There's the 2 centre-backs again, forward for the free kick. A whole posse of players near the penalty spot. It was Moncao who met it first. Strangely enough, his only goal last season was the winner here against Manchester United. Then Chelsea beat them 3-2 in the corresponding game last season.
And it was a mix-up in there with the United defenders. Good header by Moncao, just didn't quite get a hold of it right.
Moncao wins the header in his own half, and Lasso was fouled by Parker. And Lasso got a crack on the back of the head on the Manchester United fullback. And Parker's being talked to by Mr. Courtney.
Well, it certainly didn't look intentional there, did it?
No, I think it was more a clash of heads, really. And Bob Ward, the physio, administers the magic solution. If it's cold, he'll be on his feet very quickly, I would think.
I wonder what's in there.
so looks a little dazed. No damage, I don't think. Free kick to Chelsea then. Almost midway through this first half. Manchester United lead by a goal to nil. Boyd's free kick. Allen. Isn't that incredible? Clive Allen has a habit of scoring on his debuts, and he's played for so many teams down the years, but then he was within a splinter.
It was a bad mistake by Pallister right from the beginning. To Allen now, you'd have picked him to score 9 out of 10. A terrific opportunity. Bad defending by Pallister. I don't know if you could see him. It might not. There, he jumped too quick, didn't he? Ball fell to Allen. Good opportunity. 5.
Well, that looked as though it was going to be his first Chelsea goal. The woodwork denies him, and United retain their lead. Jones turns it on. Pallister under pressure again here. Dixon right behind him. Schmeichel did well to ensure it wasn't going to be a corner then.
Well, United are 1 up, but Chelsea have had the 2 best opportunities, haven't they? And they saw early on in the game, and that's Clive Allen.
Bruce wins the header. Turned on by McClure to Hughes, who's offside. One count. Hitchcock couldn't take that chance, of course.
I think if he'd hit Hughes there, I think Hughes would have been up here in the commentary box.
Parker. Boyd did well then. Jones overhit the ball. Good clearing header by Elliott, but it lands at Parker's territory. And Parker forced to defend well again. He was very sure-footed there. Hughes battling away with Elliott, and the referee has given the free kick against the Manchester United man. Better kick this time by Elliott, and touched on by Dixon. Allen with a little flick on. He thought that Wise had moved in behind him, but he hadn't. Schmeichel, it was a strange incident that. Schmeichel was going to try and throw the ball, changed his mind, and Chelsea were claiming he carried it outside the penalty area. The linesman didn't agree. And now Dixon, Bruce across to cover, and he's done well, Dixon. He's done very well. And Schmeichel needed all his enormous height. He's 6'5", quite a bit bigger than little Dennis Wise, to reach that ball. Needs a special jersey and outsized gloves apparently, the United keeper. Hughes unable to find McClure. Over Dixon's head, Wise is in behind him. And Wise doing well to keep it for Chelsea. This is Clark. And that's a United throw. Irwin's goal still separating the sides then. 13 minutes remaining of the first half. McClure on to Hughes, tried to feed Giggs. That was a good interception though by Clark, but United have it back with Kanchelskis. Parker. McClure finds himself in a lot of space. On to Hughes. Webb. Parker again. Another good run by Hughes, and Elliott read it all the way. United fans felt they should have had a free kick then. The Chelsea fans felt that Hughes was play acting. Townsend in strongly. Dixon dispossessed though by Pallister. Webb takes over. Vinnie Jones making it hard for him. And then a good tackle by Clark. Webb in again. Jones with the back heeler, but United's throw. Irwin. Webb. On to Hughes. Look for McClare. Clark in a lot of room for Chelsea on the right. But gives it away. Irwin forward. Weeks touches it on to Hughes. Now Ince. Crowd on their feet claiming that they should have had a free kick then, but Giggs takes on Elliott, and Elliott proves that he's got some pace as well.
Good player, Elliott. Excellent defender.
Irwin with the first time cross, it's dangerous, and Boyd got it clear. Bruce. Clark concedes the throw. The Chelsea players were claiming they should have had an offside decision then. They're gesturing towards the linesman, who's ignoring them. Webb getting forward and wins the corner. You could tell the way Townsend slipped then that as the temperature dropped here with 3:30 approaching in the afternoon, then the pitch is going to get harder and more difficult. By the second half, it's going to be very tricky, I would think. Anything could happen. Moncau's clearing header, and Chelskis belts it back in. It almost reached Giggs. Hitchcock anticipating the danger. Jones, Allen, Irwin with the interception, and Webb turns it on, but Boyd is there for Chelsea. It's going to be difficult, that one, to reach for Lasso. Just a little under 10 minutes remaining in the first half. Dennis Irwin's goal still separates the sides. Manchester United, if they win today, will go back to the top of the First Division. Parker. Moncau had plenty of time. Then hoists it towards Wise on the far side. Clark doing well, and then giving it away.
There's been a lot of that, hasn't there, in the last 5-10 minutes. The game has gone a little bit scrappy. United have just lost a little bit of a poise. Chelsea come into it to a certain extent for little spells, and then, you know, the final ball is the one that just seems to go astray.
Here's Lasso. Faded in behind Boyd, who looks for Dixon. Met by Pallister. And McClare showing a nice touch to bring it under control. Webb looking for Hughes. And Hughes battling away to win it back off Elliott. Now Moncau, he can't go back to his goalkeeper. McClare cut the route off. So United get the throw in. Difficult situation then for Ken Moncau. Gets it back to Irwin. Now Webb. Hughes holding it up nicely and finding McClare, who goes dangerously between the two defenders. And Giggs, in the end, brings a disappointing end to what had looked a promising United attack. Ken Bates, the chairman of Chelsea, and man who's never very far from the sports page headlines. Delighted to see the live cameras back at Stamford Bridge again. On the only other 2 occasions live cameras have been here, Chelsea lost both times. White for Chelsea. They could do with a goal before half-time. Dixon. Alistair pops it away, and Chelsea get another throw. I think his arms might go before his legs today, Vinny. Looks useful though, cleared by Parker. Hughes. Manchester United's throw in. Hughes again. That's a good ball for Kanchelskis. Giggs it in the middle. He looked for him with the first time cross. Worth trying in these conditions, but it didn't come off this time. United have it back with Bruce. That's what we call cautious. The game hasn't really flowed, but we must emphasise that conditions are more difficult than they perhaps appear on your screens. The pitch is hardening up as the minutes tick by.
It's been a strange game, hasn't it? It's sort of, I don't know, it's sort of lack of atmosphere or something. You don't know. I suppose if Chelsea get a goal, then we'll have the atmosphere, but certainly for the last 10-15 minutes there's a strange quietness about it. And as you say, Alan, probably the conditions of the pitch has made it difficult for players sometimes to keep their feet and have been given bad balls, but certainly lost a bit of excitement.
Clark hammers it forward, and certainly Chelsea aren't going to find a route that way. One of the great fans of Chelsea, of course, is the Prime Minister, and we'll be talking to him at half-time. He's finally been tracked down by the intrepid Newbon. Here's Lasso. And Boyd wins the throw off Parker. Less than 5 minutes remaining until half-time. Manchester United still a goal to the good, but Chelsea have had their opportunities. And Boyd tries to create another. Wise goes down under pressure, shall we say, euphemistically, from Irwin's challenge. A great claim for a penalty. The referee didn't want to know, but he did want to know about a free kick for Manchester United then. And I think really one's first impression, Dennis, is that that was not a penalty.
Well, again, I'm not going to be biased, but as the ball comes up, you see that White backs in there. Mind you, when you see it again, sometimes it look. What if I saw it? It did look like a penalty. But I saw it there, maybe. But the referee was not very far away. Good old George.
Meantime, the other physio, Jim McGregor, is on to give some treatment to Paul Ince. And during this brief stoppage, we can ask for the views of our studio guest today, Lee Chapman, on how it's gone so far. Lee.
Well, I think United are looking very polished at the moment, very composed, and almost playing within themselves. Chelsea trying very hard, and I feel that they're looking dangerous when they get Kerry Dixon free on the right-hand side. They have to get behind the United defence, and at the moment, like I say, Kerry Dixon is the one looking most likely to. But United looking very, very good at the moment.
Thank you, Lee. And we'll be hearing more from Lee, of course, at half-time. He's just wearing a big smile because all the Chelsea fans are booing the fact that he took so long to get back on his feet then. West Ham reject was then the inevitable follow-up cry. Kanchelskis for Manchester United takes it right onto the quadrant, and well, the flag was damaged. Chelsea's defence wasn't. Here's Jones. Jones Didn't really mean that, I'm sure, but Wise got him out of the embarrassment. He was then tackled well by Giggs. Leclerc. And the referee's given a free kick to United. Clark complaining that he won the ball fairly. It's always difficult in these conditions for referees to decide what is a foul and what is a tackle brought about by the slippery nature of the pitch. Webb with the free kick then. In towards Bruce. Again, first time by Elliott. Ince plays it straight back in. The linesman had flagged as Hitchcock was finger-tipping that shot over the bar. So even had it gone in, it would not have counted. Still, it was well hit by Ince and well saved, Dennis.
It certainly was, yes. The linesman was correct, of course. When he's cracked it there, there's 2 United players offside. I think the crowd were quite delighted about that. Linesmen did awful jobs up there. Nobody likes them.
I'm saying nothing.
What a coward. You'll probably say something when we're off air.
Townsend. Boyd. Jones. Touched away by Dixon, and in fact, had he let that run on, Clive Allen was in a good position. He wasn't to know that. Here's Irwin. Webb. Straight onto the chest of Elliott. Into the final minute of the half now. A little bit of stoppage time to be added. The temperature dropping. A little bit of mist creeping in, but nothing serious. And Manchester United still 1 goal to the good here. The whistle had gone then. As Wise thought he'd broken away. The referee had already given the free kick to Chelsea. Why didn't you let me play on? Or words to that effect. Giles is waiting because United are trying to charge forward to immediately get Chelsea offside. They have to stay back. Bruce gets it clear. Headed straight back in by Clark, but no problem for Schmeichel. Good clearance by Lasso. Dixon. Andy Townsend. Foul by Webb. Good spirit between the players in this game. So far, anyway. And Chelsea snatch an equaliser here in stoppage time at the end of the first half. Jones amongst those forward for the kick. Chipped in by Townsend. Moncao headed it forward, and Schmeichel did well then, because one little tiny slip then, and Chelsea would have had a goal.
Yes, and a free kick, good header, and Schmeichel, when we see him come out so quick, 3 Chelsea players right on. He just had to be that half a second late. It's good save by Schmeichel.
With the clearance. Boyd has given it away. And then Lasso concedes the throw-in. Parker. Strange ball by Ince. And Boyd very calm. That's a good ball too for Dixon. Good break this by Chelsea. If Wise can turn away, but no, Giggs made sure he had to go back. And a sloppy ball by Clark has given possession back to United. He made up for it though. Clive Allen couldn't control it. Lasso. Good work this by Graham Lasso. Wise. Forward for Clive Allen. No, the ball was always winning that particular battle. referee has a second glance at his various timepieces. And half-time imminent. Well, it's been a shapeless sort of half, and I would think, as we keep repeating, with the temperature dropping and the pitch conditions getting more difficult, really anything can happen in the second half. And we reach half-time with a scoreline at Stamford Bridge of Chelsea 0, Manchester United 1. Dennis Irwin's free kick in the 19th minute, separating the sides. We'll be back with that interview with the Prime Minister and the views of Lee Chapman on this first half when you rejoin us. Welcome back to Stamford Bridge. The second half just about to start with Manchester United leading by 1-0. A victory today, remember, would see them go back to the leadership of the First Division above Leeds United, and in fact they'd still have a game in hand on Leeds as well, and they have a superior goal difference on the Ellen Road club, so it really is a good position United would get themselves into by taking maximum points today. No substitutions made during the half-time interval. Manchester United have had 8 away games so far this season, lost just that one at Sheffield Wednesday. Their only defeat, home or away, in fact that. They've won 5, drawn 2 on their travels and conceded only 6 goals before today. So their away form has certainly been that of a side that are in contention for a league title. That really is championship form away. Dennis?
I would say that this season in particular, they've been more consistent, haven't they? And also what we said in the first half, they're not conceding the goals. The defence is very, very tight indeed. They're scoring goals all the time. They're playing with a lot of confidence. As we said earlier on, they've only lost a couple of games, and they've come back from that. And this is a side, as you know, through the years, it's a side that they have a couple of defeats, but then they have a stretch of games, and they've got 9 games since those 2 defeats without defeat. And that really is a sign of a championship winning team. And the confidence is there. And also, of course, they've got Sharp to come back in, you know, when he's fit. And, you know, it is a strong squad of players.
Chelsea have the early throw. And Vinny's been pretty accurate with these long throws so far, although nothing too dangerous has resulted from them from Chelsea's point of view. Mainly because United have defended so well against them, as Pallister did then. But Jones can try again. And again, Pallister got up highest. It comes back to Jones. That's a dangerous-looking ball. Moncal's got a flick header. Kerry Dixon takes it down well, and the shot was well blocked by Parker. Nice skill by Dixon in a tight situation then. And good defending from Paul Parker. So a good start to the second half for Chelsea. They've got United, temporarily anyway, on the rack. Corner dealt with, but Wise plays it in again. Townsend touching it on, Pallister first to it. Clark got up high, but it breaks nicely for Manchester United. Hughes went down under the challenge from Townsend, and the referee has given Manchester United the free kick. Mark Hughes, who scored in both matches against Chelsea last season, both defeats, of course. Alex Ferguson looking a little concerned, but his number 10 is all right. Bruce's free kick. And Chelsea's got up well, but couldn't make anything of the header. Chelsea get a throw in a position that defending sides don't particularly want to throw. Deep in their own half, Moncal hurls it forward. Pallister playing it back in, but another throw. Incidentally, if you're wondering why the players on both sides are wearing black armbands today, that's a mark of respect to the late Mr. Bill Fox, former president of the Football League. Good header clear by Bruce, and then Elliott, who's had a good game, gets it clear again. Wise for Chelsea. And the players slipping badly, particularly on this near side. Meantime, there's still a problem with Mark Hughes, who went down from that first challenge by Elliott and has stayed down. Not had his best season, Mark Hughes, in terms of his goal scoring anyway. Just 7 goals so far. He was joint top scorer last season with Brian McClair. They got 21 each. But always a player that defenders hate playing against, Dennis.
Very strong player indeed, and a difficult position to play when you're the front man, and of course you've got defenders coming in behind you all the time. It's so difficult, and Hughes is one of those players. He's exceptional at blocking off players and helping other players and flicking balls on. As you say, he hasn't had the best of season goal scorer wise, but I've seen him many times through the season, and he really has played excellent football.
Hughes is all right again, and Hitchcock launches the ball towards Dixon, who got it there ahead of Pallister this time. But United have it back. Brian McClair turning it on to Webb. Clark's clearance. Now Wise, and Ince had him in an arm lock then. Over the head of Ince, and Allen almost made United pay for a moment's hesitation then. Webb gets it clear, looking to use the pace of Kanchelskis. It was an excellent ball, and Boyd did not allow him an inch of space. In fact, a free kick's been given there. I have to sympathise with Boyd, who was complaining that he'd done nothing wrong. Brian McClair forward, but beyond the intended target of Ryan Giggs. And now space opens up for Wise on the Chelsea right. Dixon in the inside right position, watched all the way by Pallister. Irwin forward, gets it back again from Brian McClair. On Cow's header. Parker jumping higher than Lasso. And Chelskis back to keep possession for United, and he finds Webb. That's great play. Excellent tackle by Boyd, and a good ball too for Clive Allen. On towards Dixon. It was almost inch perfect, that ball. Credit to Pallister for reading it. And now Kanchelskis taking on Moncow. Good sliding tackle. Chelsea even get the throw. It came off the United man, Jones. Bruce hammers it back in, and he did that so quickly that Kanchelskis was still in an offside position. Getting the kick all wrong. I think his steadying foot might have slipped then as he kicked that one. That's a good layoff. Hughes to Irwin, on to Webb, and another throw to Manchester United. Irwin with his better foot, his right foot, swings it forward. United haven't really settled into much of a rhythm so far in this second half. Ince gets it clear. Kanchelskis couldn't reach it. Lasso did, and then Parker, who's one of the quickest defenders around, closed down the space and wins the throw for Manchester United. Paul Parker, who missed 6 weeks of this season, his first, of course, at United with a torn hamstring. Looking sharp and fit now.
It has been scrappy though, hasn't it? The game has not got going at all. We had a little spell in the first half. Well, let's hope that the second half is better, but players are in so quick, they're not giving each other any time to settle down on the ball, and this is how you get this sort of clash, and bad balls being played, not really flowing whatsoever.
Bruce doing well though then, because it was a difficult ball. He had to be absolutely accurate. Back to Schmeichel. And the big Dane launches it into Chelsea's half. Elliott has won most of the headers today, but this one drops to McClare and now on to Giggs. Irwin. McClare. Hughes. Giggs. Better football, but then it breaks down again. But now Webb has it for United. Parker. A great explosion from the terraces, nothing serious, I hope. Hughes getting it back to Parker. Kanchelskis is there. He's got two players in the middle here. One of them is Ince on the near post, who he looked for. But the cross was beaten away when it really looked good for Manchester United then. Just took it on a stride too much, I think, the Soviet then. But still United have possession. Now the goal scorer Irwin to Hughes. And Irwin this time finds Giggs. Not the best cross he's played. And Hitchcock carries the ball out of the penalty area. In all fairness to the goalkeeper, it was not a good clearance really by Elliott, and he had to get there. This is going to be a tricky one for Chelsea to defend. Chipped in towards Pallister and Bruce on that far post. Chelsea get it away. Allen. Just played it in behind Wise. Enthusiastic support for the home team, and they've made a reasonable start to this second half, but United still look as though they've got an extra gear to move into if they'll need it. Minutes gone in the second half. It's still Chelsea 0, Manchester United 1. Somebody's brought along a few leftover fireworks from November, I think. Kanchelskis. Boyd very close to him, but he finds Parker, and it goes towards Hughes. Hughes just about controlling it. A clever little back healer. McClare! Manchester United have got a second. Ferguson celebrates, and that could be a vitally important goal.
And it really was a magnificent back healer from Hughes here, and Kanchelskis beat the offside, lovely cross, and of course there's McClare just went off the defender. But as you said earlier on, it was a situation that, look at this back healer, isn't that beautiful? It's not obvious here. And Kanchelskis so fast, so sharp, head to head across the goal, and McClare went off, it looked like Wise there.
Yes.
But really, it was, as you said, Al, it just felt that United were a bit in second gear, and if they wanted it, just to up it into first gear. Good. 2-0 down now, Chelsea. This will be extremely difficult.
Chelsea have done the best thing. They've immediately gone to the other end and gained a corner. But Manchester United, crucially now, have a 2-0 advantage. Difficult corner for United to deal with as well, coming into that near post area, which was so crowded, and they've had to concede another. Wise floats it in, and Pallister heads it clear. Boyd has Kanchelskis right behind him, and suddenly Manchester United finding gaps now. Giggs has Hughes ahead of him, and turns it instead into the path of Kanchelskis. And the linesman had flagged. This time Kanchelskis doesn't produce a goal as he did with his earlier cross here. Brian McClare, who's Manchester United's leading scorer this season, moving in on the far post. It did indeed take a deflection off Wise, but I think there's no way you can give that goal to anyone other than Brian McClare. It'll be his 14th of the season. Manchester United have built what they will be convinced now is a winning lead. Chelsea, to have any hope, need a goal, and they need one soon. Ince hammering it forward. Chelsea have got to throw everyone into the United half now, and United have looked particularly dangerous counter-attacking today. Tactically, an awful situation for Ian Porterfield and his team. Brian McClare has now scored 5 in his last 6 games for United. And perhaps even more significant, in the match sweep, Dennis Law will have to be really persuaded to part with £2 in the kitty. Has got Brian McClare as the scorer of the last goal of the day.
Listen, it's my high time. The last time I was in the sweep, I got the substitute, and the time before that, I got the goalkeeper.
Clark will take the free kick, and not a very good one. Boyd's header. Mark now has stayed forward from the earlier free kick and finds Wise. He trod on the ball and then goes down from Giggs' challenge, but no free kick. Good work by Irwin. Hughes, they've got a player completely unmarked in the middle here. Kanchelskis is wide on the right. Hughes going all alone and goes down, and it's a penalty. Clark's tackle. Manchester United get the spot kick. And you have to say that Hughes' determination to go for Chelsea's jugular then paid off. He had 2 players on the far post, Dennis.
Yes, exactly, yes, and it was in such a break, it was so difficult for you. Well, no danger on a penalty whatsoever. But as you say, United broke so quick, a difficult situation for Chelsea, 2-0 down, they've thrown a lot of players. Hughes so strong, no danger on the penalty, but as you, I mean, on the far post, there was 2 players there that he could have slid the ball for. Obviously, it would have looked like the 3rd goal.
It'll be Steve Bruce, of course, to take the kick. Successful twice from the spot this season, although in fact he has also missed a couple of penalties. And the crowd, naturally, are not going to give him much help. It didn't matter. Steve Bruce hammers in his 6th goal of the season, Manchester United's 3rd of the day, and surely now the points are bound for Old Trafford.
Well, of course, it's easy, well, easier when you're 2-0 up to knock in a penalty. Penalties are never the easy. They should be easy, but when you're leading 2-0, confidence there, no danger whatsoever.
61 minutes gone. Manchester United have extended their lead from 1 at half-time to 3, and still half an hour to go. And if you noticed, a hint of disappointment in Dennis Law's voice. And Schmeichel gathered that one on the near post. I should point out that our sweep is all about who scores the final goal of the game.
There's plenty of time, plenty of time.
Chelsea 0, Manchester United 3. And Chelsea, who started the second half promisingly, now have surely an impossible job. I said that last week, actually, when Arsenal were 3 down at Nottingham Forest. They gave us a tremendous finish. I better keep my mouth shut. Hughes finding Giggs. It looks more likely United will score more. Great run by Giggs, but not a great shot at the end of it. Townsend forward, looking for Dixon. Alistair has marked him exceptionally well today. Well, what a wonderful platform now for Manchester United to show us that they can play with a bit of style. Watching that dropping kick from Hitchcock. Jones turns it on, but really no particular criticism of Jones, but that's symptomatic of the way things have gone today for Chelsea. McClare turning it on to Hughes. Irwin. McClare. Kanchelskis is completely unmarked out on the right. He looked for him, actually. Elliott got in the way. And you can't criticise Paul Elliott for what's happened today. He's been a rock there for Chelsea, but United surely have a winning position here. Here's Graham Rousseau. Chelsea desperate to get back into it as quickly as they can with at least one goal. Boyd. Again, United strong at the back with Pallister this time. Strange ball from Giggs. Leclerc heads it on. Hughes. From Chelskis. Back to Parker. Townsend gives it away. Now Hughes. You feel there are more goals left in Manchester United's team yet. And here's young Giggs trying to get another. And Hitchcock did well to guard that area on the near post.
Well, the confidence is in the team, isn't it? Everybody wants the ball. They're all breaking through. There's the opportunity to get more goals because they're so hungry. And 3-0 up, their confidence very high. And Giggs, superb player. Could have maybe chipped the ball that far down to Webb on the far post.
Well, I'll tell you one thing it's done. It's certainly opened this game up now with Chelsea having to come forward and United roaring into the gaps they've left behind. I don't think we've seen the end of the scoring. Townsend. That's a foul. Alan furious as Bruce brought him down. Townsend opens up for the shot. And Schmeichel made that save look a lot easier than I'm sure it must have been. Bouncing off a hard frozen surface. Boyd getting there ahead of Kanchelskis this time. Allen's layoff. Back it goes towards Lasseau. And United looking very sure of themselves in defence. Pallister. Another lovely little backheeler by Hughes. And then swept out to Giggs again. United looking really irresistible at the moment. And a good ball. And Cow gets it clear. This is Webb. Oh, it was well struck.
Unlucky, but very good move again by United. Lovely ball to begin it from Hughes in midfield, that little sort of flick, and out to young Giggs on the left. Lovely cross, just a little bit too far for Hughes, but it came back to Webb. It was connected beautifully. And from this angle, of course, we don't know how far, but it must have only been a couple of yards wide.
Hughes, his control is magnificent in his ability to hold off defenders. On that occasion, he found that Ince had just got himself caught offside, and there's going to be a substitution by United, in fact, and it's Giggs who's coming off, clearly not injured. A little bit of a surprise, Dennis.
Yes, well, I suppose maybe, Al, with so many games coming up, particularly towards Christmas and New Year, and the three tremendous games, obviously, against Leeds in the New Year, or just prior to the New Year, and then after it, then young Giggs, he's only a young boy, maybe it's right to take him off and give him a rest.
Yes, it's a very good point. I'm sure that was uppermost in Alec Ferguson's mind. Clayton Blackmore, the Welsh international, on in his place, and he'll enjoy getting the ball down this left-hand side. And as United get a free kick, and Wise complaining about the award. Frustrating day for Dennis Wise and everyone at Chelsea. He scored the penalty which was Chelsea's winner at Old Trafford in their 3-2 victory last season. It's United leading 3-0 today. How well they've laid this particular bogey. Good climb then by Bruce. Elliott for Chelsea. Clark, Townsend, and he's given it straight to Webb. Leclerc helping it out from Chelskis on the right. We're going to see all the little skills now from United, I'm sure. Webb turns it on, and Chelskis just offside. That was close.
Very close indeed. Thought he'd just timed his run perfectly.
We're only midway through the second half here. What a wonderful position for Manchester United. Bruce's clearance. Straight to Ince. This is Webb. Moncau took it well on the chest despite the pressure from Clayton Blackmore. And the crowd critical, but he didn't really have anywhere else to go. Foul by Pallister then on Clive Allen. Allen awaits the free kick. If his shot in the first half had gone in rather than hitting the bar, we might have had a different sort of game here. It's very similar to the position from which United scored in the first half. This bit further out. I wonder if Schmeichel's done a better job of lining up the wall. It wasn't a direct shot anyway. Parker gets it half clear. Played back in by Vinnie Jones. And deflected for a Chelsea throw. Wise. Corner quickly taken to Jones. Parker. Moncau now further forward than he's been at any stage of the game, and not a bad looking ball, and Allen is almost there and kicked off the line. It's not going to be Chelsea's day, is it? Could even have been an own goal that had it gone in, because he was challenged by Irwin as he was poised to shoot. But it matters not. Chelsea only have a corner. Wise will take it as Chelsea try to get something out of this game. Elliott with the header, and that's gone behind for a goal kick. We can see this one again, Dennis.
Yes, and as you say, you rightly say, it's not Chelsea's day. It was a lovely ball from Moncau up, and Allen did ever so well to get behind the United defence. He rounded Schmeichel, thought lovely, only got to knock it in, no danger, and all of a sudden there's Bruce. It's just one of those days, isn't it? Not your day today.
Well, when they don't go in, you're entitled to feel that someone up there doesn't like you. Not on this particular day anyway. Irwin with a good-looking ball forward. Hughes. McClare. And now Blackmore. United keeping possession with a bit of style and fluency now. Webb finding McClare. What a great ball that could have been, but Kanchelskis gave up on it rather. I'm sure if he'd bothered with that, he would have got it. Wise. Now Clark. Chelsea have got to keep playing. Dixon. On again to Wise. And now Dixon. And Irwin has not let anything go past him on this left flank for Manchester United today. Wise. In it goes again from Jones towards Moncau. Got the header onto it, but Schmeichel has been faultless today. Moncau sprints back into his defensive position. Ince. United happy to keep possession at the back, and why not? They lead 3-0. Webb turning it forward offside. Take your pick, Hughes or Ince. Jones. Oh dear. Straight to Kanchelskis. And Boyd saves Vinnie Jones' embarrassment. Graham Lasso with the cross. Clive Allen met it. And another opening really for Chelsea. And had Boyd been a little calmer then, well, they might have got something out of it.
Well, really, yes. exactly, because there was Dixon at the far post. It only needed a little chip, completely unmarked. But, you know, the frustration of being 3-0 down as well, you saw really rushed the cross.
Poor kick by Schmeichel. Not a good ball back either, and he's got to come sprinting out to save the situation with Dixon bearing down on him. He'd have taken some criticism for that if a goal had resulted. Rousseau loses out. Hughes. Parker. Kanchelskis gives it back to the England number 2. And Kanchelskis doing well to keep it in. That's good play by the Soviet international, and he's still got possession. And still. But he did really well then. Andy, as he's been nicknamed by his teammates. A couple of goals in his last 3 matches. In this, his first full season at Old Trafford, and he's earned that corner, being heavily underlined in that run. Alistair forward, so too is Bruce. Jones took a bit of a risk then, but Hitchcock was there to help him out. Parker, a good headed clearance, finds Kanchelskis again on the right. He's enjoying this now. Andrei Kanchelskis, that's a terrible ball though, straight to Wise. Townsend. Wise takes over. This is Boyd. There's Rousseau outside him. In towards Clive Allen. It was an excellent header by Clive Allen, and he's kept up his record of doing well for his new teams. Although he got a little bit too angry then with Schmeichel, who he felt was trying to kill a bit of time, but nonetheless, that was a great header.
Beautiful, and no more than they deserve. They've not played bad at all. They just haven't had the breaks in front to go. Allen just had a little bit. It was a lovely cross, isn't it? And the header was so deft. Lovely flick. Schmeichel, no chance whatsoever. And as I say, no more than Chelsea deserve. They haven't played bad. They've knocked the ball about extremely well at times. And, well, obviously Allen is getting booked. But I think it was just the enthusiasm of scoring his first goal, and he shoved Schmeichel into the back of the net. I suppose George Courtney didn't have any option really in booking him. But it was not. I didn't feel it was anything serious whatsoever.
Well, what a moment of contrasting fortunes for Clive Allen. He scores his first goal as a Chelsea player and is immediately cautioned. And Chelsea, in fact, have made a substitution too at that instant. I must confess, in the midst of all that, I'm not sure who went off. Or indeed, I'm not sure who's come on. I think it's young Graham Stewart who's come on. We'll check that one for you as United backpedal now, having conceded a goal. Boyd is the player who's gone off. The left back. There he is, on the bench. And Chelsea, I've got a glimmer of hope, thanks to that Clive Allen goal. But still United threaten here. Moncau in trouble with Hughes. Hughes still battling away. Kanchelskis sets it up for McClare perhaps, and the shot deflected away for a corner. Well, this game is certainly not finished in terms of entertainment and incident. With Clive Allen scoring for Chelsea, then getting booked. And the score now, Chelsea 1, Manchester United 3. Alistair's header dropped for Bruce, and the shot well blocked by Elliott. Well, they might just give United the little kick to keep going forward. Hughes. Wise intercepts with some ease. Alistair looking for Owen. And Chelsea have a new spring in their step now. Dixon. Jones. Little Wise is there again. Clive Allen calling for the ball to be played in quickly. Moncao. Allen tried to find the substitute Stewart with a layoff, but it wasn't a good ball. Now Parker for Manchester United. Webb. Again looking to utilise the pace of Kanchelskis. Lasso has now dropped in to left-back, with Boyd having gone off, and Graham Stewart has taken Lasso's post on the left flank. So a sting in the tail perhaps here at Stamford Bridge. Hughes for Manchester United, who lead 3-1. Gets in the cross, and Elliott's clearance. Bruce looking for Parker. Lasso gets it away again. On my watch, we've got a little under 10 minutes remaining here. And United looked completely in control until that Clive Allen goal. And frankly, I can't see them coming away from here with anything other than maximum points, Dennis.
Well, it's going to be difficult, isn't it, to get another 2 goals. But Chelsea have done... And funny, isn't it, when they were 3-0 down, they played probably their best football of the match. And had a couple of opportunities with a bit of luck. They might have had a goal before they actually scored. Jones has been a much better second half.
And I was going to say Jones doing well to win it back then for Chelsea, but his shot was not too clever. However, another Chelsea goal would certainly liven things up here in the final stages. Not that it's ever been dull, this game. Free kick to Chelsea. They've taken it already. Stewart, the substitute. Not quite got into the rhythm of the game yet. And Manchester United get the throw-in. Kanchelskis. Moncao across. Good defender. Well, certainly, they picked up a gear now, Chelsea. This is Lasso. Stewart. It's a useful cross and flicked dangerously into the middle. Blackmore gets it away. Townsend driving it in. They've certainly given us an exciting finish here, Chelsea, but always the danger of United breaking away like this and getting something. Hughes turning it on for McClare, but Moncao gets in first. 8 minutes to go. Chelsea 1, Manchester United 3. If the home team could score again, well, United might just begin to lose a bit of faith. Moncao forward again, but Blackmore right underneath it and finds Hughes, who again took it beautifully. But Chelsea winning a lot of the 50-50 challenges at the moment. Clark flicked on, but Clive Allen is offside as Dixon's header found him in the clear. Only Clive Allen's third game this since his £250,000 move from Manchester City 11 days ago. Always averaged a goal every other game in his career. Really has been a consistent marksman. And that goal he scored a few minutes ago has given Chelsea some hope. Alistair. And again it comes back to him. Kanchelskis. Won't beat Lasso that easily. Stewart doing well. Jones. Bruce gets it clear. In some of the pressure from Townsend. And it breaks again to Townsend. And that's a useful ball for Stewart. Chelsea get the corner. Well, that's warmed them up on the Stamford Bridge terraces. They're now beginning to believe that Chelsea maybe could rescue something from this, unlikely as it may seem. United again deal splendidly with a dangerous corner. Wise gets it back in. Elliott's downward header. Space just wouldn't open up for Stewart to get the shot in. And he's here again. And wins the throw off Dennis Irwin. Jones says, leave it to me. Elliott in there this time, and the shot by Stewart was deflected. The 21-year-old who's recovered from a badly broken leg, making some impact as a substitute. Not a good corner this time by Wise. He can try again with another cross perhaps. No, finds Townsend. That's good work by Blackmore. And even better work by Lasseau, turning away from danger like that. It's a good-looking ball too for Clive Allen. Pallister read it well, but still United forced to concede a corner. Under 5 minutes remaining now. And a few flutters in United hearts perhaps, even though they are leading 3-1. Elliott storming in on the far post. And that wasn't a bad effort by Paul Elliott. Scored 2 goals in his opening 4 matches for Chelsea. None since, but a good effort this time.
Actually, a lovely header. He rises so well. I mean, he connects superbly. Just, what, 2 feet over the crossbar? But Chelsea have played extremely well this last 10 minutes, and you just feel if they had done that for the whole of the game, you know, you wonder what the result would be at the end. But they played some nice football. They created opportunities. And you're on about Allen, you know, scoring 1 every 2 games or something. He wasn't in it a great deal in the first half, but when you look back at the game, he could have actually had a hat-trick. The opportunity in the first half where he hit the bar, then he rounded the goalkeeper and it was kicked off the line by Bruce, and then he got the goal. So in fact, he could have had a hat-trick.
Well, Chelsea have a free kick just to keep the momentum going. Clark looking for Elliott in the middle of that group of players. Back again to Clark. Accurate ball out to Stewart on the left, and he's won the throw off Parker. Stewart again. Jones. Now Lasseau, they're queuing up for the cross. And United got there first through Pallister. It's good pressure though, this by Chelsea. Well, it's not pressure at the moment because it was United doing the pressing, and Jones had to go all the way back to Hitchcock. Jones again for Chelsea. Pallister's clearance. And Clark quite safe. Jones. Only 2 minutes remaining as Irwin gives it away to Wise. Elliott has stayed forward now, almost like a second centre forward. That's him turning it on, and it comes to nothing. We can call in quickly Lee Chapman to tell us his nomination for man of the match. Lee.
Well, I think it was a clear winner today. Mark Hughes for Manchester United. His terrific back heel for the second goal sealed it, but it's been a great all-round performance from him. He's been involved in the 3rd goal as well. But there's been great performances from United players. Chelchis has played well. Webb and McClare in midfield have caught the eye. And the back 4 look very, very solid. It's a very good performance from United, playing within themselves, I thought, today.
Thank you, Lee. The Barclays Man of the Match award to Mark Hughes of Manchester United. Steve Clarke of Chelsea hauled to his feet, and surely now a brief glimmer of hope for Chelsea has flickered out. In fact, we are into the final minute of time. Needless to say, as the award of Mark Hughes as man of the match is announced, he's never the most popular with opposition supporters. Lee's choice was greeted with resounding boos, but I'm sure up there in Manchester with great cheers.
Well, I must say that I would agree entirely with Lee. Though Mark hasn't scored today, his performance has been superb for a front man. Connected, involved in 2 of the goals, but all-round play, he's been superb.
Now, Pallister has conceded a free kick, a little nudge on Kerry Dixon. Jones chips it in. Pallister first to meet it, then away by Ince. This is Brian McClare for Manchester United. Anywhere would do then. Well, now into time being added by referee Courtney. And there's the vital statistic as far as Manchester United are concerned. A 3-1 lead. But if they retain it in the short time remaining, we'll see them go back to the top of the First Division above Leeds United, with a game in hand still, and the superior goal difference. And of course that big clash against Leeds at Ellen Road to come on December the 29th, another match that you can see live on ITV. We've got more fixtures, of course, between now and then. They play Queen's Park Rangers as well, live on ITV at Old Trafford on January the 1st. Blackmore. Ince, making sure they keep possession. There's the final whistle from George Courtney, and Manchester United are back on top of the tree. And that's a very happy position to be in with Christmas so close at hand. Manchester United's goals coming today from Erwin McClare and a bruised penalty. Mark Hughes awarded the man of the match, and deservedly so, for a fine all-round performance. Allen gave Chelsea a brief hope towards the end with a beautifully headed goal, but Manchester United really were the superior team on the day by, I think, the margin by which they actually won the match. So that's a very important victory then for Manchester United, and Leeds, having suffered the disappointment themselves of dropping 2 points at home against Tottenham yesterday in their 1-1 draw, well, that's made their weekend even unhappier. Chelsea 1, Manchester United 3, a crowd of 23,000 at Stamford Bridge to witness a disappointing day for Chelsea. Steve Bruce, the captain of Manchester United, is now with Gary Newbold.
Steve, very good performance. You're top of the table. Is there a feel of a championship side from where you are?
Well, I mean, it's still only Christmas. We're only halfway through, but the lads have come away again and showed a few people today what we've been playing for the last few months, and it's very nice indeed.
What pleased you most about the performance today?
Well, I think basically all round, when you come to a place like Chelsea, you're a good side, and you play like we did and get three goals up. As I said before, it's very satisfying, and if you keep playing like that,